Welcome back. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in. Peace. All right. All right. So now that you are present with me, let's get into another video. All right. So today's video, I want to talk about the power of making a decision. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I'm seeing, right, getting the downloads that people are still struggling with making the decision to put them forward into whatever it is that they truly want, truly desire for themselves. So this video will be going more in depth of why it's important to make the decision, and also on an energetic and spiritual level what it looks like. And I got this download, I received this download earlier today when I was running in the park. All right, so let's get straight into it. One reason why you may struggle with making the decision is because you got too many decisions to make, meaning you have too many options. And every time you have too many options, you're going to be overwhelmed every time. Okay. So let's just say that you have five options and you got to make a decision on one of these five options. If you can't make a decision on one of these five options, I suggest you condense it down to just three options and allow these three options to be your top options. Now, from these three options that you decide to condense down to, choose one or make a decision on one of these three options. Now, you may say, well, I don't know if that's the right decision to make. That's okay. Because if you go down that path, you'll start to realize, like, I'm not feeling it, something's off. I want to make a change. You can go to the second option. Okay. Then you go down that path. The point of having three options is your top three. So you can't lose. This is your top three options. One of them has to work. One of them has to work. It's your top three options. Okay, and so once you make that decision, I want you to understand the power of decision. Once you make a decision and you go down that path, right? You're going to have a lot of spiritual team activation. You're going to have a lot of ancestral activation. You're going to have your spirit guides. You're going to have God. Everything is going to come into fruition to support you towards that decision. Okay, so that's very important. The thing is that we prematurely stop going down the path and we don't see all the miraculous things that can happen. So that's why it's so important to make a decision and stay grounded and consistent in that decision. And you'll start to see all of the doors start to unlock. And you also start to see you're not doing this by yourself, because that's the whole idea of making a decision. You're not doing it by yourself, but you got to make the decision to see that you're not doing this by yourself, right? Okay, and so now another thing I want to bring to your awareness is understanding decisiveness versus indecisiveness. So, like I said earlier today, I was doing a jog. I was doing a 15-minute jog. So, during this 15-minute jog, right, there was a guy who was out there who was also running on a track. So, I told myself, well, he's not about to outrun me. Right. So what I did was I made a decision. I made a decision in the moment that I'm going to run for 15 minutes straight. Normally, I don't run for 15 minutes straight. Normally, I run for like 8 minutes, take a break, 10 minutes, take a break, and then I'm done, right? With my 15-minute jog. This time I said he's not going to outrun us. We're going to make a decision right now to keep running for 15 minutes. Now, this is very important, because once I made that decision, I started to receive all of these mental narratives and all of these cop blockers, all of these haters, right? All of these voices coming in and saying, Josh, we're tired. Stop running. It's been 10 minutes. Take a break. And I realized, like, oh, this is what happened when you start to get on a path of making a decision. All these other parts of you that doesn't support that decision is going to come in and try to stop you from moving forward in your path. You will never know what it is that you're trying to work through if you prematurely keep stopping yourself from experiencing what it is that you're trying to cultivate. You have to go down the path to see what it is that's creating the resistance, and ultimately what is your arch nemesis that's keeping you stagnant, keeping you in the place that you're in, right? So what I realized, like I said, is that look at decisiveness and indecisiveness like two people. Okay. That's like four. Two people. Okay. And it's in two categories. You got decisiveness and you got indecisiveness. And then you got the middleman. The middleman is your awareness. Okay. So the thing about indecisiveness, like I said, we put it in a category, is that it doesn't require your conscious awareness. A lot of times when we make decisions unconsciously. And those decisions that we make unconsciously is indecisiveness. So when someone asks you, hey, what you want to eat today? Oh, I don't know. That's your first response. That lets you know that that's on autopilot. That lets you know that you have a indecisiveness entity, an indecisiveness spirit. You always say, I don't know. Versus if you had a decisive spirit, a decisive energy, you would say, oh, let's go get some rallies, which I don't even eat that. But you know what I'm saying? That is an example, right? Let's go get some McDonald's. I don't eat that neither, right? But that's an example, right? So it's like what I realized as I was doing my thing, right? running and running and running, as all these different parts of me was coming up, these different parts of me was supporting my indecisive spirit. They're like soldiers, and indecisiveness is a military base. And so the military base is deploying soldiers, which is all of these disempowering narratives coming in to disempower me. So I realized that the more that I give energy to my decisiveness, the more that I put energy into decisiveness, it carries a different energy and a different thought starts to happen. So I've been practicing this for about a while now. And I notice every time I say I'm going to do something, it's an energy that pulls me towards it. I don't feel resistance anymore. Why? Because I eliminated the indecisiveness part of me that creates all the resistance. Now I go straight to it. I have a lot of confidence now. Okay. I have a lot of more determination. I have a lot of more productivity, persistence, right? So your awareness is so important. You can either feed a part of you that's trying to expand, or you can feed the part of you that's trying to contract. There's only two things that we're doing in life. Either we're growing or we're dying. Either you're evolving or you're de-evolving. Your awareness is so important for this process, because if you are not actively, consciously trying to evolve, you are dying. It's that simple. If you're not trying to improve any areas of your life, you're dying. It's that simple. So you have to consciously take the effort, take the conscious effort to apply yourself to something that you want to grow in. And when I say grow, I don't mean take quantum leaps. I mean take pennies. Make a wish in the well. You know what I'm saying? Make a wish in the well and make it a small wish, so it can start to become believable, so you can start to develop the muscle. Today, I decided to push myself. I decided to run for 15 minutes. Now I know I can run for 15 minutes straight because I challenged myself the whole entire time. The more that you do that, the more power you're going to develop. I promise you this. But you got to make the decision. And not making a decision is making a decision. So just because you say, well, Josh, I don't know what to do, you just made a decision. And it's going to take you down a different path. And you're going to have certain entities and certain spirits that's going to support you on that mission. But what I find when you go towards evolution, the thing that you know you need to do, oh, you got a different team coming in, player. You got a whole different squad coming in, player. Whole nother squad, right? So I would love for you guys to get serious, all right? Have some fun with making a decision every day. We're always making many decisions every day, but the more important decisions, if you know you got to call a friend, if you know you got to reach out to something dealing with your business, if you know you have to go to the gym, if you know you got to work out, if you know you got to meal prep, these are like more important decisions. Prioritize the more important decisions, because what I find is they take a little bit more energy, right? So that means that you need to make a decision on the things that require a little bit more energy. So when it's time to execute, you're not thinking like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. Do it the day before. prep yourself up the day before so you already have a plan laid out and you just follow suit. You ain't got to think. It's already written out. You already know what to do. You got to structure your life. If you're in constant chaos, and I don't mean the chaos that's outside of you, I mean the chaos that's inside of you, you have to structure that. You have to give that order. If not, you're going to always be moving sporadically. You're not going to know what to do, how to do it, or what to do. So you have to develop order inside of yourself and structure yourself. This is so important. If you don't do it, you're going to stay where you are. We can't have masculine without the feminine. We can't have feminine without the masculine. We cannot have Shiva without Shakti. We cannot have Shakti without Shiva. This is called unification, divine union, okay? You need to develop the masculine part of you. The masculine part of you is making a decision, okay? It's the decisiveness. Indecisiveness is the feminine part of you, just going with the flow, chaotic. All right. So I hope this video helped. You already know, like I like to do, drop a comment down below. Drop some fire flames. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.